So Exodus is when the Israelites escaped the Egyptian captivity.
Yeah.
Where they hit the desert, right? I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
They're getting the fuck out of there.
Mm-hmm.
So as we began, we learned that the Israelite population went from 70 or 75 people to several million in a few hundred years. That comes from a series of chapters. Chapter 1, verses 5 and 7, chapter 12, verse 37, and chapter 38, verse 26. They make reference to such a very low population of Israelites. I mean, I didn't realize that there were that few, but then just in a few decades, there are, a million, several million.
So they found something that got them really fucking horny. And they got up onto each other. They got up onto each other,
And they went into each other too.
They got up
onto each other, and then they went up into each other. I think that's the right sequence.
No. And they know each other. They know each other.
And they knew each other very well. So maybe it had something to do with God, who disguised himself as a burning bush. He had a long heart-to-heart talk with Moses.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's chapter 3, verse 4, and chapter 4, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
And who hasn't had a talk with a burning bush?
Right.
I'd like to talk with Lindsay Lohan's burning bush.
Do you think Lucille Ball had a burning bush?
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
I try not to imagine Lucille Ball, her bush in any sense.
Yeah.
So.
No.
Apparently she had a lovely garden. So as we
Lucy, let me talk to your burning bush, Lucy. I got some explaining to do to it.
I got some explaining to do to your bush.
Yeah.
Oh. So as we move on, God decides to kill Moses because his son had not yet been circumcised. Luckily for Moses, his Egyptian wife Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at his feet and said, "Surely a bloody husband art thou to me." So he, God, let him go.
This is really painful. Dick Hurdy.
It is, but I think this story shows the importance of penises to God and his hatred of foreskins. Is really kind of what the point of it is. God finds penis is very important, but get that extra skin out of you, or I'm going to kill you.
Okay, well, as someone with this extra skin, I can tell you it has feelings. And, somewhere in that desert, there's this skin just lying there with feelings, waiting to reconnect.
There's no reconnection.
There could be.
It could be. That's Exodus chapter 4, verses 24 to 26.
Yeah.
So as we go through Exodus, we hear God say that Abraham didn't know that his name was Jehovah. God's like, "Hey, Abraham, you don't even know that my name is Jehovah yet." Back in Genesis chapter 22, verse 14, Abraham names the place where he nearly kills Isaac after God's name, Jehovah. So, wait a minute. Is God lying to Abraham now? Like, it's like, no, look back in the last book and name the place after you, God. Exodus chapter 6, verse 3. That makes me a little upset that God would just pretend like, oh, you don't even know what my name is. Where he's like, look, this whole place is named after you. That's bad. That makes me a little upset.
Yeah, well, I named my kid Paris. And, I named her Paris because, this is the place. And then, my son's name's Blanket. Jamon! Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah. I'm glad I can clear it up for you. All right.
Jamon, everybody. Well, God tells Moses and Aaron that when Pharaoh asks for a miracle, just throw your rod down and it will become a serpent. So when the time comes, it's like, all right, ready? Moses throws down his rod and it becomes a serpent. But the Egyptian magicians, they duplicate this trick. Luckily for Aaron, his snake swallows their snake. God damn, that was close. Exodus chapter 7, verse 9 to 13. After the serpent trick, God tells Moses and Aaron to smite the river and turn it to blood. This is the first of the famous 10 plagues of Egypt. Unfortunately, the magicians know this trick too, and they do so with their enchantments. Like they can turn it, and they can do the blood trick too. So, just how the river could be turned into blood by the Egyptian sorcerers after it had been turned to blood by Moses and Aaron is not explained. Like, dude, the river's already blood. Like, oh, we made up blood too. No, that's our blood now.
I'm losing my focus, but okay, it's bloody. Maybe it's from all the dick pain. Maybe people shouldn't cut off their dick-feeling skin with a rock.
It could be a bunch of foreskins floating around in the river, and
that's probably exactly what happened. And they're like, if they're expecting to keep their race kind of, or their sort of like religion, or their culture, like breeding, they shouldn't fuck with their dicks, man. Their dicks should remain whole. Particularly with rocks.
Right. Just a sharp stone, like, brutal. So the second plague, these are all very famous and exciting. The second plague was frogs, right? Frogs covered the land. They were all over the beds and they filled the ovens even. But the Egyptian magicians they did this trick too. And now there's a question, kind of like the blood. Did they wait until the frogs cleared out from the last performance before doing it again? But I don't know. After the frog making contest was declared a draw, all the frogs died, and they gathered them together upon heaps and heaps, and the land stank. I bet. But at least it was all for the greater glory of God. Dead frogs everywhere.
Of course. All for the glory of God.
So, this is quite a slog. So plague 3 is lice. I can't do it. All the cattle die. God kills the cattle again after they've already been killed. Locusts, darkness. The Passover, smear the blood on the door. God divided the sea with a blast of his nostrils. I guess that's the parting of the Red Sea. He just like snorted at the water. By the way, that's Exodus chapter 15, verse 8. God divided the sea with a blast of his nostrils.
Of his nostrils. The flare from his nostrils. There was a booger there too, and that crashed a hole.
It took the Israelites 40 years to travel from Egypt to Canaan, but that trip, even at that time, would have taken no more than 10 days. God stands on a rock and tells Moses to hit the rock. Then water comes out of it for the people to drink. That's pretty clever.
He probably was peeing on the rock, and they all got thirsty and came around to drink his pee.
Right. God has feet. We learned that God has feet.
Okay.
Exodus chapter 24, verse 10. Wash up or die. This is a good verse to use when reminding the kiddies to wash their hands before supper.
Yeah.
If you're not clean, you die.
Yeah. Ruben, wash up or die. I'm gonna fucking kill you. If my room ain't fucking clean. If you are not clean, if these dishes, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Wash up or die, bitch. Mr. Reaction, please don't do it, Mr. Reaction. What? What is this fucking toy doing on the floor? Mr. Reaction, please, Mr. Reaction.
Yeah, right. Just wash up or die. And lastly,
that sounds like a great name for a band. Wash up or die, with their new hit album, Nostril Flare.
Yeah, I kind of lost interest a bit, but that was good. But I guess the last chapter and verse of Exodus that I even care to mention is that Moses goes without food or water for 40 days and 40 nights. Exodus chapter 34, verse 28. He must have been really, really fucked up at that point. I mean,
I don't know. Marty did it. Marty did it for 91 days.
That's true.
And
no water too?
Yeah, well, he cut water halfway through, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
Fucking nuts, dude. He did 30 days at least without water, Marty, I think. I'm pretty certain.
That's a lot.
Or he got, or like maybe 15, I can't remember.